Hello everyone, welcome back to Supposedly Fun. I'm Greg. Today I thought it would be interesting to talk about some film adaptations based on books that are coming in 2019. Some that I'm looking forward to, some that I'm kind of holding out until I see a trailer. I want the receipts. But these will be the big ones that are coming this year, the ones to watch for, as they say. And I wanted to start with Little Women, which should be coming on December 25th. Please note, release dates may be subject to change. Just if you're interested in one of these movies, make sure you check. So Little Women is significant because even though it has been adapted at least 8 times for the film, this is going to be director Greta Gerwig's follow-up to the movie Lady Bird. And if Greta Gerwig doesn't have you excited for this, you should note the cast. The cast that she assembled for this movie is fantastic. You have Meryl Streep, Emma Watson, Saoirse Ronan, Timothée Chalamet, Laura Dern, Bob Odenkirk, and Chris Cooper. That's a really great cast. At first, I thought that Meryl Streep was playing Marmee, but it turns out she is not. Laura Dern is playing Marmee. Emma Watson is playing Meg, I believe, and Saoirse Ronan is playing Jo. So Saoirse Ronan and Greta Gerwig are teaming up again after Lady Bird. I'm really excited for this. I thought Lady Bird was a really good movie with really... What I really liked about Greta Gerwig's directorial style was the tone that she set and the way in which she got the performances out of Saoirse Ronan, and Timothée Chalamet was in that as well. So I'm really looking forward to this. I think it's going to be very good. And maybe it'll even be some Oscar bait. Who knows? We'll find out on December 25th. The next adaptation I wanted to talk about is for a book that I actually DNF'd, but which won a Pulitzer Prize back in 2013, I believe. It's the Goldfinch, not the Goldfish, the Goldfinch by Donna Tartt. Now, like I said, I DNF'd this book. I just really couldn't get into it. I think I got about halfway. And I just was not into it. And interestingly, anytime the book comes up, people tell me, oh, I love Donna Tartt. The Secret History is one of my all-time favorite books. Or they'll say, oh, The Little Friend was so good. Nobody really seems to have a whole lot of love for the Goldfinch itself. And yet, but it was critically acclaimed. People do seem to like it. So I just think that's kind of interesting. Anyway, it is the story of Theo Decker. It's a coming-of-age story. In the opening of the book, his mother is killed in a terrorist bombing of a museum. And in the chaos around it, he escapes with his life, but he also steals the titular painting. And his life takes a lot of twists and turns from there. There were parts of the book that I remember liking, so part of me wants to revisit the book, but I think more likely I'm going to wait until the movie. I'm kind of waiting for a trailer because I DNF'd the book, but I think it's probably something that I'm going to see, regardless. This should be coming October 11th. Next, let's talk about another book that I was a little iffy on, but more positive about. It's Where'd You Go, Bernadette by Maria Semple, which should be arriving in theaters on March 22nd. The trailer for this one is already out, and the trailer has me excited for this one. And my excitement for it can be summed up in 2 words. Cate Blanchett. She looks amazing in the movie. I was kind of iffy on the book. I think Maria Semple has really great comedic timing. She's very quirky, and I like quirky. But I couldn't connect with either one of her books, Where'd You Go, Bernadette, or Tomorrow Will Be Different. Tomorrow Will Be Different was the one I struggled with more, to be honest. But basically, they're kind of soaked in this white privilege that I struggle with in the books. And, like, basically, Where'd You Go, Bernadette is about, it's about Bernadette. So she's planning a family trip to Antarctica because her daughter B is a genius, and she had been promised that if she got good grades, she could pick whatever she wanted, and she wants a family trip to Antarctica. So things start spiraling out of control because Bernadette lives her life like one of those people in an infomercial who can't do anything. And she just struggles to get anything done, to be like a practical person. She can't do it. And people love her and put up with her. And I think the only reason they really do that is because she's rich and white. If she was anybody else, people would say, honey, you're a mess. You need to get your life together and then come talk to me when that's done. But it's only because, I think what really got me was in Tomorrow Would Be Different, the main character named her son after an autocorrect fail, like a spelling mistake. And she just named her son after it. And that was kind of where I was like, you know what, this is weird. It's a little too much. Where'd You Go Bernadette I had less trouble with, but what really got me on board is watching the trailer. Cate Blanchett really seems to bring Bernadette to life. She seems effortless. It actually got me really excited for the movie, and who knows, I might even retry the book. We'll see. I guess that's the power of a good film adaptation. The next one is going to sound really familiar to anybody who's watched one of my videos before because it's The Woman in the Window by A.J. Finn, which should be arriving October 4th. Now, if this is familiar, it's because this book was on my worst books of 2018 that I read. I hated it. Mainly because it feels very derivative of The Girl on the Train, and I just didn't think there were enough twists. It felt very redundant and like it had been done before. So, why am I potentially looking forward to The Woman in the Window? Amy Adams. I don't remember her ever doing a part in a thriller like this. And she picks really good projects. She's a great actress. I'm kind of curious. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens when the trailer comes out. I don't know if it will be any better than the book. But I do think in a movie I might be a little more forgiving of some of the flaws. One of the things I didn't like about the book was A.J. Finn's writing, and that will obviously be gone. So, you know, if Amy Adams is on board and thought there was something interesting about the adaptation, I'm willing to give it the benefit of the doubt. I'll wait until I see the trailer. And next, let's talk about a Tom Hanks movie. So the book is called The Good Shepherd. The movie is going to be called Greyhound. That should be out March 22nd. So this is a World War II novel in which Tom Hanks plays a commander who is leading a convoy across the North Atlantic on a perilous journey. So it's Tom Hanks, one. It's World War II, which has been an era that has been good to Tom Hanks in the past, and it sounds like an interesting movie, you know. And the last time Tom Hanks got on a boat, it was for Captain Phillips, which was a really good movie. I think he has good taste, so I'm looking forward to this one. I think it's going to be good. Next is The Best of Enemies, which should be coming out April 5th. And in this one, it's based on a true story. You have Taraji P. Henson playing a civil rights activist who is forced to work with Sam Rockwell, who plays the local president of his area's chapter of the Ku Klux Klan. And again, it's based on a true story. So basically, you have Taraji P. Henson in full Hidden Figures mode. The story sounds interesting, and the trailer looks like it's going to be an entertaining movie. There is potential for this to go south. If you've heard any of the controversy around Green Book, it's possible this movie will suffer from the same problems. It is a story about racism that gets filtered through one white person learning to be friendly with black people. Will they handle that well? I don't know, but I'm interested to find out. The trailer looks interesting enough, and hopefully they've been more respectful to the families of the people who are being portrayed in the movie than Green Book was. We'll find out. I'm looking forward to it. That is April 5th. Next is a book that was a runaway bestseller when it came out, The Art of Racing in the Rain. This comes out September 27th. Now, I have not read The Art of Racing in the Rain, but one of the gimmicks behind the book was that it comes from the point of view of the family dog. So I'm interested to see the trailer for this one because I don't know if they're going to keep that angle or if they're going to drop it. If they do keep it, how are they going to handle it? You know, how do you make a movie from the perspective of a dog? But then again, how do you write a book from the perspective of a dog? It was done, so this should be interesting. Next, we have two Stephen King adaptations coming in 2019. The first is Pet Sematary, which is coming out April 21st. Pet Sematary is not my favorite Stephen King book, but I think that the trailer makes it look like it has a kind of really serious, scary tone, kind of similar to what they gave to It when they made the new adaptation of that. And I think that seems really fitting and really interesting. And any movie that has John Lithgow is looking good in my book, you know. So I'm looking forward to this one. Will I like it better than the book? Who knows? We'll find out. And then, of course, the chapter 2 of It is coming out September 6th. This has Jessica Chastain, Bill Hader. It's got a great cast, and casting was one of the things I really liked about the first chapter. I didn't think it was a really great adaptation. I thought it had some problems. And one thing that I didn't like about it was that it was a series of setups in which Pennywise chases the kids and doesn't get them. And that made him less scary to me. But this is the conclusion. Some dramatic things are going to happen in it. So it was good enough that I'm willing to go along and find out what happens. I mean, I know what happens, but... And the last one is actually a book that I had never heard of before, but it's The Aftermath, and it stars Keira Knightley and Alexander Skarsgård. There you go, Greg. Alexander Skarsgård. It's period drama. It stars Keira Knightley, so that probably gave you a good idea that it would be. It's set in post-World War II Germany. So Keira Knightley's husband is helping the region through the post-war. He's going to rebuild the town that they're in. He sets up his wife in a house that is still occupied by Alexander Skarsgård. He's going to be relocated, but until they do, in a gesture of goodwill, the husband decides to let him stay in the house with his wife. And what follows is a complicated web of love and betrayal, and it comes out April 26th. The trailer is out right now. I'll link to any of the available trailers below. It looks like it could be interesting, so we'll see. Thank you for watching this video. If you liked what you saw, please be sure to subscribe or leave me a comment or watch some of my other videos. I will be back again tomorrow with big adaptations that are coming to television in 2019. So again, be sure to subscribe if you're interested in that, or just come see me. I'll be here. Why not visit? And until next time, happy reading.